Hello, freak bitches.
And then dealing with the fallout. Yeah, I used to have to deal with a lot more. I used to choose to deal with it a lot more. And now it's just like, I'm 46. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, there was a person who came to one of the screenings on the road. We had the screening at, I forget where we were. I want to say New Orleans. And of Yoga Hosers, and I was doing Q&A afterwards. And, everyone's getting up and they're like, oh, it's fun. It's fucking stupid and asking questions. And then one guy gets up and he is like tight, dude. He's very serious. And he's just like, okay, you told a big long story before that movie began. And I did. There was a big intro before the movie began. Told like an hour-long story of how we got there. And he goes, that story did not match the movie I just watched. And I said, no? And he goes, not at all. And he goes, why did you make that movie? He's going, I found that unwatchable. I was like, and everyone in the audience is going, oh. And I was like, no, man, he paid. Like, he overpaid to see this movie if I'm sitting here talking. So, yeah, let him say what he wants. Like, I'm a big boy, I'm fine. And so he goes, I just don't think you ever should have made it. It's terrible. And I said, well, you understand that's subjective, right? Like, you're surrounded by a bunch of people that feel like the opposite way. So, and people were applauding and shit. And then some guy behind him in line jumps in front of the mic and goes, you want me to kick his ass? And I was like, no,
Jesus.
fuck no. I was like, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I said, but his opinion is I never should have done this. And, my answer to that is like, that's ridiculous. Like, if I wanted to make it, like, that's the only reason we're here. I just want to see it. Like, you could choose not to see it, and in this instance, I'm really sorry that like our tastes didn't coincide. But every time I go to do one of these things, I do it the same way. Whether it was Clerks up to the most recent one, I just make the movie I want to see, and hopefully others like it. And sometimes they do, and that's amazing. And it feels great, and you're like, holy shit, my finger's on the pulse. And sometimes you're fucking alone, but at least you're like, I'm happy with the thing that I made. I said, but I feel heartbroken that you came out here looking for something I didn't give you. So I said, I'm gonna give you your money back. And I pulled out $40 and I was like, put it on there's like a riser speaker. And he goes, I don't want that. And I was like, no, man, honestly, take it. It's not a trick. It's not like Jason Mewes is gonna come out and hit you with a hammer. Just take it. Like, I feel bad. I want you to have a good time and shit like that. And he goes, no, I don't want that. And I was like, dude, it makes for an excellent story. Like, you could be like, I told him his movie fucking blew to his face and I fucking took his money and walked out. And he goes, no. And he went and sat down and crossed his arms and just stayed there for another like half hour during the Q&A. So for him, it was worth the $40 just to be like,
say it.
I'm going to like, just sit here and fucking hate on this and let you know and then sit down again. So, you deal with that, but that's the memorable one because that never happens. Generally speaking, like when we toured the movie, you're touring you're in a safe zone. It's like going out and doing a club night. It's like people there are there because they love you. They're not going,
right.
I wonder if this fucking tween sausage movie is for me. Like, they're already dialed in on some part of the journey. Like, oh, I've loved Tusk, or I've been with him since Clerks, or so forth and so on.